Hello, and welcome back to Daily Talk Lessons. Today, we are so happy to be with you again, and we hope you are having a great day. I am really excited because today we will talk about a very interesting topic, a work day. Many people work every day, and sometimes work can be fun. Sometimes it can be stressful. We will share our personal stories, our feelings, and maybe some funny moments from our work days. So relax, enjoy this episode, and let's learn English together in a natural and friendly way.
Hello, listeners. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am also excited because a workday is an important part of life, and we all experience it in different ways. Some people love their jobs, some people don't like their jobs, and some people are just tired and need a vacation. I think talking about our workday can help learners understand many useful English phrases and vocabulary. So let's have fun. Let's talk with emotions. And let's enjoy this friendly podcast together on Real Talk English channel.
When I wake up early in the morning for work, I always feel a little sleepy, and sometimes I just want to stay in bed. But I tell myself that I have responsibilities, so I need to get up and start my day. I usually drink coffee because it gives me energy and makes me feel ready to work. When I arrive at the office, I try to smile at people, even if I feel tired, because I want my day to start in a positive way. But sometimes I feel stressed when I see many emails waiting for me, and I think, oh no, this will be a long day.
I understand you completely. Mornings can be really difficult, especially when we don't sleep enough. When I wake up, I also want to stay in bed, but I push myself and say, "Come on, Daniel, you can do it." I like taking a warm shower in the morning because it wakes me up and makes me feel fresh. When I get to work, I look at my schedule, and sometimes I feel excited if I have interesting tasks. But if I see too many things to do, I feel nervous, and I hope the day will not be too stressful.
One thing that always cheers me up in the morning is greeting my coworkers. I really enjoy good morning conversations because they make the atmosphere warm and friendly. Sometimes a coworker tells a funny story, and we all laugh together. And suddenly, I feel full of energy again. I think human communication at work is very important because it makes us feel connected and supported. Without this, work could be very boring and lonely.
Yes, I totally agree. Small conversations really change the mood at work. I also enjoy saying good morning to my colleagues and asking them how they're doing. When people smile back at me, I feel more positive, and the start of the day becomes easier. Sometimes we also joke about how tired we are, and that makes us laugh together. Even simple things like that help me feel ready to start working.
After morning greetings, I usually open my computer and check my tasks for the day. I try to plan my time because if I don't plan, I can become confused and stressed. I like making a to-do list because crossing things off the list makes me feel proud of my progress. But sometimes I get unexpected tasks from my boss, and then everything becomes a little chaotic and my plan disappears completely. On those days, I feel like I am running from one thing to another without rest.
I also make a daily plan, and it usually works for the first 2 hours, and then chaos begins. New tasks come, phone calls interrupt me, and suddenly my schedule becomes totally different from what I expected. Sometimes I feel frustrated because I want to be organized, but life at work doesn't always follow our plans. But I try to remind myself that it's normal and part of working life. When all tasks change, I just take a deep breath and continue doing the best I can.
Another thing that happens almost every morning is that someone in the office asks, "Did you eat breakfast?" And it always makes me smile. I think this is a sweet question because it shows that people care about each other. Sometimes I say yes, and sometimes I say no because I am late and don't have time to eat. When I say I didn't eat breakfast, my coworkers sometimes share their snacks with me, and I feel very grateful. These small moments make me feel that even a busy workday can be warm and full of kindness.
That is really nice, and I think food brings people together anywhere, even in the workplace. In my office, there is always someone who brings cookies, fruit, or chocolate, and everyone gets excited when they see it. It feels like a mini celebration in the morning, even when we are tired. I love how such small things create a friendly mood and help everyone feel less stressed. It reminds me that even during hard work days, simple kindness can make a big difference.
Sometimes in the morning, we also talk about personal things like weekend plans or family news. These conversations make me feel closer to my coworkers and help me understand them better. When someone shares good news, I feel happy for them, and it gives me positive energy. When someone is sad or tired, I try to listen and support them, because we are like a small work family. I believe emotional support at work is important, because we spend so much time together every day.
Yes, we spend many hours with coworkers, sometimes even more than with our own family. Because of that, it is important to have good relations and understand each other. When a coworker tells me about a personal problem, I try to be patient and listen, because sometimes people just need space to talk. When someone shares happy news, I try to celebrate with them, because happiness grows when we share it. I think this kind of emotional connection makes a big difference during long and difficult workdays.
After these morning conversations, I usually feel ready to focus on my tasks with a fresh mind. I take a deep breath and say to myself, "Let's do this, Emma. You can handle today." Sometimes I even put on quiet music in my headphones, because music helps me concentrate and stay calm. When I finish the first task of the day, I feel proud and more confident. I think starting strong in the morning helps shape the rest of the workday. I also like starting my day by finishing one task quickly, because it gives me a sense of progress and motivation. There is nothing better than crossing something off the to-do list. It feels like a small victory. When I feel productive in the morning, the rest of the day becomes easier and lighter for me. But on days when I struggle to finish the first task, I sometimes worry that the whole day will be difficult. So I try to push myself to start working even when I don't feel like it. Another challenge in the morning is time management. Sometimes the clock moves so fast, and suddenly it's already lunchtime, and I think, where did the time go? On those days, I feel like I was working non-stop, but finished very little. It makes me feel worried or disappointed, because I want to do my best. But then I remind myself that not every day can be perfect, and that is normal. I know that feeling very well, and sometimes I get frustrated when I realize that morning is over and I still have so much work left. It can make me feel like I'm behind, even if I've been trying my best. But I try not to be too hard on myself, because stress does not make anything better. I tell myself that a slow morning does not mean a bad day, and I can always try to improve later. Just being patient with myself makes the day feel more manageable. When the morning is almost finished, I sometimes take a small break to recharge. I stand up, stretch my arms, walk around the office, or drink water to refresh my mind. These little breaks help me think more clearly and avoid feeling overwhelmed. After that, I return to my desk with more focus and energy. It reminds me that taking care of myself is an important part of having a productive workday. Yes, small breaks are very helpful, and I try to take them too, even if it's only a few minutes. Sometimes I walk to the window and look outside just to relax my mind from the screen and the emails. It helps me reset and breathe for a moment before continuing my tasks. After a break, I usually feel calmer and more ready to continue working. I think every worker should remember that breaks are not a waste of time. They are necessary.
After lunch, the afternoon at work feels very different from the morning.
Sometimes I feel fresh and ready to work again, but sometimes I feel sleepy and want another cup of coffee. When I return to my desk, I look at my to-do list again and decide what tasks I should work on first. I try to choose a task that matches my energy level, because difficult tasks can feel impossible when I'm tired. But when I choose a task that fits my mood, I feel more productive and motivated.
I agree. The afternoon is really a special time at work because it can be very productive or very sleepy. After lunch, I sometimes feel full and relaxed, and it becomes difficult to focus immediately. I usually drink tea or coffee to wake up a little, and it really helps me. When I start thinking clearly again, I return to my tasks with more concentration. I feel happy when the afternoon becomes productive because I know I am closer to finishing my work for the day.
One thing I like about the afternoon is teamwork. Often in the afternoon, my coworkers and I meet to talk about projects and help each other. I enjoy these meetings because they make me feel like I am not alone, and we are working together toward one goal. Sometimes we laugh during meetings, sometimes we stress together, but we always support each other. These shared moments make my job feel meaningful.
I also enjoy teamwork in the afternoon because working with others gives me new ideas and new motivation. When I solve problems with coworkers, I feel proud and connected to the team. Sometimes teamwork can be slow because everyone has different opinions, but in the end, we always find a solution. Even when meetings are long, they help us understand our tasks better. I think communication is the heart of a successful workday.
Of course, not everything in the afternoon is easy because sometimes there are deadlines. When I have a deadline and the clock is ticking, I feel nervous and start working faster. I worry about making mistakes, but I try to stay calm and concentrate on one step at a time. When I finish the task before the deadline, I feel so relieved and happy, almost like I want to race. That feeling gives me confidence for the rest of the week.
Deadlines definitely create pressure, and sometimes I feel like time is chasing me. I try to stay collected, but I can feel the stress in my shoulders and in my mind. When the deadline is too close, I forget about everything else and only work on that task until it is finished. And when I finally complete it, I feel a huge amount of relief, like a big weight has been lifted off my shoulders. That success makes all the stress feel worth it.
My favorite moment in the afternoon is when someone finishes a difficult task or solves a big problem. Everyone claps or cheers because we know how hard the person worked. It creates a positive atmosphere and makes us feel like a small community. Even on busy days, celebrating success together makes the work environment warmer. I think every workplace needs this kind of positive energy.
That sounds wonderful, and we do something similar in my workplace too. When someone finishes a big project, we congratulate them and sometimes even buy snacks to celebrate. It doesn't have to be something big. Even a simple, "well done," can make a person really happy. I think appreciation helps everyone work harder because they feel seen and valued. It builds respect between coworkers and makes the workplace feel safe and comfortable.
But sometimes in the afternoon, things don't go the way we want. There are days when technology stops working, people misunderstand each other, or someone feels tired and cannot focus. On those days, the atmosphere becomes heavy, and everyone feels a bit stressed or irritated. I try to stay patient and help where I can because we all have difficult days. I believe kindness becomes even more important when things go wrong.
Yes, afternoon problems are very real, and every workplace experiences them. When something breaks or when information is unclear, people can become frustrated and teamwork becomes harder. In those moments, I try to take a deep breath and speak calmly, because angry voices only make the situation worse. When we communicate kindly, problems become easier to solve. Even a simple, "let's handle this together," can change the whole mood.
When the afternoon starts to come to an end, I begin thinking about the final tasks I need to finish before going home. I look at the list and decide which tasks can wait until tomorrow and which tasks I must complete today. Sometimes I feel proud because the list is short, but other times I feel stressed because many things are still not finished. I try not to panic, and I remind myself that doing my best is enough. I believe a workday is not about perfection, but about steady progress.
I do exactly the same thing. I plan the end of my afternoon so the end of the day feels organized. If I carry too many unfinished tasks into the next day, I feel overwhelmed. So I try to finish at least the most important tasks before I leave. When I finish them on time, I feel relaxed and satisfied with my workday. It makes going home feel like a reward.
Sometimes near the end of the afternoon, I start to feel hungry again, even if I ate lunch. I look at the clock and think, maybe it's snack time. When someone opens a bag of chips or chocolate in the office, everyone suddenly becomes excited again. We laugh and talk while eating, and it gives us new energy to finish the last part of the day. It's funny how food can make people happy so quickly, even when they are stressed.
That happens in my workplace too, and it always makes me smile. One person brings snacks, and suddenly everyone gathers like a small party in the middle of the office. We talk, eat, and take just a few minutes to relax, and it really changes the mood. After a snack break, I feel more focused and positive again. It reminds me that we don't need something big to make the afternoon easier. Sometimes just a snack and a good laugh is enough.
Another interesting part of the afternoon is when coworkers start talking about what they will do after work. Some people talk about going to the gym, some people talk about cooking dinner, and some people talk about spending time with family. Hearing their plans makes the end of the day feel close and gives me hope when I feel tired. I also start thinking about my evening and what fun or relaxing things I will do. It gives me motivation to finish my work with energy and not give up.
Yes, talking about after-work plans helps me too. When I imagine myself going home, relaxing on the sofa, watching a movie, or eating dinner, I feel more motivated. It becomes easier to push through the last tasks of the day. Even when I am tired, I tell myself, just a little more and then you can relax. Thinking about the evening helps me stay positive in the afternoon.
Sometimes I also think about how important it is to balance work and personal life. If I work too much and forget about my personal time, I feel exhausted and unhappy. But when I finish work on time and give myself time to rest, I feel ready for the next day. I believe rest is not a luxury, it's something we need. A good balance makes work feel healthier and more enjoyable.
That is very true, and I think many people forget that rest is part of success. When we rest, our minds become fresh and our motivation returns. But when we work without stopping, our energy slowly disappears and everything becomes harder. Sometimes we feel guilty for resting, but we shouldn't because rest gives us the power to continue. Work is important, but taking care of ourselves is also important.
As the afternoon gets closer to the end, the office atmosphere changes. People start working faster because they want to finish everything on time. We all become very focused, like we are in a race with the clock. It can be stressful, but it can also be exciting when we push ourselves and succeed. When we finally finish, there is a big feeling of relief.
I know that strong focus very well. It feels like the final stretch of a marathon. Everyone becomes silent and concentrated, typing quickly and trying to complete the last tasks. It can feel intense, but also satisfying when we get things done. After we finish, we usually take a deep breath and smile at each other because we made it through another day. Those moments make me appreciate my coworkers even more.
Before I leave work, I like to clean my desk and organize everything so the next morning starts calmly. When my desk is neat, I feel more relaxed and ready for a fresh day. I close my laptop and write a small note with tomorrow's tasks so I don't forget anything. It helps me leave work with a peaceful mind. When everything is ready, I finally say goodbye to my team and head home.
I do almost the same thing. I clean my desk, check my to-do list, and look at my calendar for the next day. Having everything organized makes me feel more confident and less worried. When I leave work with a clear mind, I enjoy my evening more. I think these small routines make the workday feel complete, like a good ending to a story. It helps me start the next morning in a better mood.
Sometimes work becomes really stressful, and those days are the hardest. There are moments when everything goes wrong, and I feel like I cannot control anything. I try to smile, but inside I feel worried and tired. On days like that, I ask myself, why is everything so difficult today? Stress can really make me forget my confidence for a moment.
I understand you so well, because I also experience days when nothing works and everything feels overwhelming. There are times when I try so hard, but I still cannot finish my tasks correctly. I feel pressure inside my head and I want to stop for a moment, but I can't. I think stress is normal, but it can hurt our emotions if we don't manage it. On those days, it is important to breathe and remember that we are doing our best.
One thing that makes stress worse is when people misunderstand each other at work. Sometimes someone says something quickly, and another person thinks it means something different. Miscommunication can make coworkers upset or confused, and the work becomes even harder. When this happens, I try to speak calmly and ask questions to understand better. Clear communication helps solve problems without hurting feelings.
Yes, communication problems are common, and sometimes people are stressed and speak without thinking. I try to remember that most coworkers don't want to be rude, they're just tired or frustrated. If someone talks to me in a sharp tone, I try not to respond with anger because that only makes everything worse. I breathe and answer kindly, and usually the situation improves. Kindness during stress is powerful.
Another difficult situation is when we make mistakes at work. I always feel embarrassed when I make a mistake, even if it is a small one. I worry that people will think I am not good enough or not working hard, but I try to remind myself that everyone makes mistakes, and mistakes are part of learning. I try to fix the problem and move forward with courage.
I feel the same way about mistakes. They are uncomfortable, but they are normal. When I make a mistake, I try to focus on what I can improve instead of feeling bad. If I learn something from the mistake, then it becomes useful information for the future. I think workplaces that forgive mistakes make people more confident and creative. When coworkers support each other, learning becomes easier.
Sometimes the most stressful problem at work is feeling tired, not only physically, but also mentally. When I work too many days without rest, I feel like my brain is heavy and slow. Even simple tasks start to feel difficult, and I lose motivation. On those days, I realize I truly need a break to recharge. Rest gives me strength to return with a fresh mind.
Mental tiredness is real, and I also feel it when I work too much. I can drink coffee, eat food, or listen to music, but none of those fix the deep tiredness inside. The only real solution is rest, relaxation, and balance in life. People sometimes think working nonstop shows strength, but I think true strength is knowing when to stop and take care of yourself. When I rest properly, I become faster and better the next day.
Another problem that creates stress is when we compare ourselves to others. Sometimes I see coworkers finishing tasks faster than me, and I think I am not good enough. I know comparison is not helpful, but it is hard not to think about it. When I feel like this, I try to focus on my own progress instead of competing. Everyone has a different speed, and that's okay.
You're right. Comparing ourselves to others can destroy motivation. It makes us feel weak or slow, even if we are actually doing great. I try to remember that everyone has different strengths and weaknesses. Some people are fast, some people are careful, some people are creative. Every style is valuable. A good workplace is not a race, it's a team.
But even during stressful days, there are small moments that give me hope. Sometimes a coworker says something supportive like, "You're doing great," or "Don't worry, we will solve this together." When I hear those words, I feel stronger immediately. It reminds me that I am not alone and that stress does not last forever. Support from others really makes the dark moments lighter.
Yes, emotional support at work is so important. Even one sentence of kindness can completely change the mood of a difficult day. When I'm having a hard time and someone helps me, I feel grateful and my stress becomes much smaller. It makes me want to help others too when they're struggling. Work becomes easier when people care about each other.
Today's topic made me think deeply about work days and how we experience them. Some days are easy and happy, and some days are stressful and long, but every day teaches us something. Work is not only about tasks and deadlines, it's also about people, feelings, teamwork, and personal growth. I hope our listeners remember that it's okay to have difficult days, and it's okay to rest when you feel tired. You are doing your best, and that is enough.
I agree, and I think this conversation shows that we all share similar emotions at work: excitement, stress, teamwork, pressure, progress, and hope. Even when a day feels endless or overwhelming, there are always moments of kindness and support that make it better. Work is not perfect, but it shapes us, and we learn something new every day. It's important to be patient with yourself and proud of what you achieve. Your effort really matters, even if no one sees it immediately.
Before we finish, I want to say something to everyone listening. Please remember to take care of yourself. Drink water, take small breaks, rest when you need to, and don't be afraid to ask for help when work becomes hard. You're not alone. Everyone struggles sometimes, and it doesn't mean you're weak. Be kind to yourself and celebrate your progress, even if it feels small. Every step forward counts.
Yes, and I also want to thank every listener for spending time with us today. You are part of the Real Talk English channel family, and we are very happy to learn English with you through real-life topics and emotions. Your English doesn't need to be perfect. Learning a language takes time, and you are already doing great. Keep practicing, keep listening, and don't give up. We believe in you, and we are here to support you.
So, that brings us to the end of today's podcast episode about Workday. Thank you for staying with us and sharing this journey of emotions, lessons, and real working life experiences. We hope our conversation helped you learn English in a natural and interesting way. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to join us again for the next one. We always love spending time with you.
Yes, thank you so much for listening. And remember, every day at work may not be perfect, but you are stronger than you think. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep believing in yourself. We will see you again in our next episode here on Fast English Beginners. Until then, take care of yourself and have a wonderful day at work and at home. Goodbye, everyone.